Hello, welcome back to Heretical Tarot. My name is Liz. I will be guiding you on this journey today. I haven't even actually chosen a deck. I just, the energy was available for me to make this little intro. I'm like, am I going to be an intro girly? Yeah, for the time being. At least for this series of readings, there is going to be an intro. I want to set intentions at the beginning, or at least share with you my intention that I always have for every single reading that I do, whether it's on YouTube or one-on-one personal readings. I am not psychic. I am not claiming to be. I do know these cards. And my intention is for the message to come through me, not from me. For your highest good, for my highest good. We're just two friends reading tarot together. So anyway, I do also try to share the meaning of each card because you have your own intuition, and obviously you're the person that's involved in your own life, right? So I share the meaning of each card so that you can discern, you can listen to your own guidance around each card for sorry, I closed my eyes and all of a sudden I got lost. I am naturally a blonde. I immediately heard blonde moment. Anyway, I closed my eyes and I got lost. Bro. Anyway, okay. So yeah, you have your own intuition. You're the one, right, that's involved in your own life. I want you to know the meanings of each card so that you can also receive your own message, right? Listen to yourself. The whole reason I even give tarot readings is for you to return to yourself, for you to listen to yourself, which is why I'm probably not telling you anything you don't know already, right? I'm more than likely confirming or affirming things for you. No doubt your intuition is see, told you. But also, I do think that is important. I think that's an important part because once you know for sure, right? Once you have that confirmation, it's that you can free up the energy for what's next. You have confirmation. Now what? Right? Now what? So I haven't even really chosen a deck yet. Did I say that? This is a deck that I was thinking of in my mind's eye. Let's see if it even wants to do the reading or not. Do you want to do the tarot readings? Yeah, okay. That was the Ace of Cups. I do that for every reading too. Consent over here. Is there anything else that I wanted to say? If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would absolutely love it if you did, because honestly, community is becoming a big thing for me in what's next for me. So let's get on to the reading. Great. So this is a reading for Taurus, wherever Taurus is in your chart. Happy birthday to you Tauruses out there. I'm also a Taurus sun, so happy birthday to us. Also, this is the third time. There's always one that it takes a couple times. I start doing the reading and I'm like, this doesn't feel right. So I stop it, start over, stop again. And I mention it because, is there an energy around you or that you're feeling that you have been experiencing where there's this stop and start thing, 2 steps forward, 1 step back? Just kind of feeling like you can't quite get all the way going. So let's see what these cards are. We have the Three of Swords, the six of Cups, Eight of Wands, Seven of Wands, and the Hierophant. Look at you showing up here in the reading. This all feels like a lesson, honestly. Two of Swords at the bottom of the deck, Hermit, Empress, the other Taurus card. And what is so funny too is that, I know this is kind of like off screen, every single message I have pulled has been completely different than the other. So, which I also think means something. You know, it just kind of, either things are changing fast, minds could be changing fairly quickly. Honestly, you could be just not making a decision either. It's like the energy shows up and you're like, yes, and then give it a second and you're like, no. I also decided too, before we get into the reading, I also decided too to like do the reading at a different time of day. Like that came through almost to get out of your routine, almost to shake up the energy, to just, you know, kind of change things a little bit. Because I don't usually do readings in like the late afternoon. Honestly, I do them in the morning. Because by the time afternoon, evening comes, like I just want to be chilling, you know? But it came through for me to do the reading in the evening because I was actually going to attempt to do it again this morning. But it was like, no, do it later. Like, do it in the afternoon. Like, you know, kind of like when the sun is already past my house for some reason. So here we are. It's also interesting. We have 5, 6, 7, 8. Even though, you know, I mean, they're different, you know, different elements. This really does feel like what's stopping you is an experience from the past, which, no duh, right? No fucking duh. But truly though, right? Like there's an energy here though to literally move past it. Even if it is like taking quick action, like just diving into the pool, you know, type of thing, versus like sticking your toe in and being like, oh, it's kind of cold. No, just like jump all the way in and just kind of get it out of the way. Is how that's feeling. And I say that because we start with the Three of Swords and the Six of Cups. The Three of Swords is disappointment, heartbreak. There's literally 3 swords sticking into this heart here. But swords have to do with our mind, our mindset, our belief systems. I see swords as being the suit of ego also, because that's generally where we hear our ego, is in our minds. And our ego is created by the stories that we attach to feelings, experiences, circumstances, and it does become our belief system. It becomes our habits. It becomes the reasons why we do and don't do things. It does become our identity. So, with all that being said, the Three of Swords does deal with heartbreak, rejection, disappointment. However, though, it's how that belief or how you are perceiving that in your head, what story you are attaching to that thing. I keep looking at these little blood droplets too. I can't even tell you how many times I've looked at the cards in this deck and I've never seen those. I've never seen those blood droplets. But my eye keeps going to them and it feels like, you know, kind of having a bleeding heart, which is also it's being overly empathetic. It's almost being a martyr. It is literally sacrificing yourself. And the reason or the cause or the story, whatever it is, right? Like it has something to do with a past experience. The Six of Cups is literally the card of the past. It's nostalgia. It's even inner child too. Like there's two children here. Reminiscing. You know, the Six of Cups also is about acts of kindness. Like that kept coming through. Actually, what was coming through is support from others. My dog is like going crazy. Give me that. Go on. Did you hear him tell me no? Anyway, so yeah, like support from others was coming through. So I was just like kind of sitting here being in that energy, because I'm like, for some reason I was thinking, I kept kind of correlating that to the Six of Pentacles. So it was like this weird thing that was like happening where I was like, wait, no, like this is the Six of Cups. But even the Six of Pentacles talks about acts of kindness. It's just monetarily or practically or like physically or tangibly, versus the Six of Cups having to do with our emotional well-being, our emotional, stability. And even too, like the body keeps the score is coming through. Like, there could have been a place or, a period in your life in the past, regardless. I mean, it could be a week ago. It could be, again, like from your childhood, where your energy got zapped. I call those Horcruxes because I'm a Harry Potter freak. But truly, right? I mean, like a Horcrux, what's his face? Separated himself into these different Horcruxes, right? So like he was no longer whole without having all of those things. So every time that they destroyed one of them, it like made him weaker. Although like I honestly do believe that part of healing, and even like that's kind of more like shamanic work, like soul retrieval, is finding a piece of you that was zapped in an experience that you had, and literally, healing the energy and reclaiming it, and, like absorbing it back into yourself. So you could be sitting with this, like, just for whatever reason, like having a breakthrough, like an aha moment. And that could be what this Eight of Wands is too, like just having like a really fast, just literally light bulb moment of understanding surrounding something from the past. I also love how like in the Three of Swords, there's this dark cloud above it. And even just the last couple months, I mean, like the last 7-ish, but really like the last 3, there has felt like there has been a dark cloud. And I think that did have to do with transits. However or wherever Taurus is, in your chart, there are all these things that were happening, in other zodiac signs. I mean, for a minute there, almost every planet was in a sign that it hated being in. I think Neptune was the only one that was in a sign that, because Neptune rules Pisces, in the modern sense, and it's been in Pisces, right? But every other planet for a period of time, I can't remember when it was, but was in a sign that it just did not do well in. And then everybody was retrograde for a second. Like, right, just the shit that was happening, like the energy that was being produced by these things was just funky. And maybe too, like it did feel like regressing or, reverting back to, or even like bringing up feelings of like anxiety of like, I'm going to go back there. Or I don't want to go back there, or I can't, seem to figure out like a different avenue other than what I already know exists or what I believe, exists. But I love, again, that this Eight of Wands is here in the middle, because that tells me like energy is moving. The Eight of Wands does talk about fast moving communication, fast moving energy, taking action, swift action, having the motivation to do that too, because I think, like Tauruses, it's earth, right? And they always talk about Taurus being stubborn. And I can definitely get down with that. However, though, I'm usually really stubborn when I don't have enough information. I'm definitely getting a lot better at uncertainty, because in the past, like if I couldn't like intuit or, figure out like how a situation was going to like, kind of come up with all of the what ifs, then I would just be like, forget it. Now I'm like, if it feels good, I'm going to keep heading in that direction. Feeling, right? But this information is coming in, whether, maybe there is some sort of communication coming in from somebody from the past, having a conversation about a past experience, and you're like kind of clearing out that energy. It doesn't necessarily have to, of course, involve like an actual other person. It could be just some inner work, inner child work that you're doing. Maybe you are finding a whole crux, and maybe you are clearing the energy of that so that it doesn't hold you back. Either way, there is this motion, this motivation to move forward. Even the Seven of Wands doesn't feel like... So the Seven of Wands is about standing your ground, being defensive, having to defend your actions. And I mean, if this is something, from the past, again, if it is a conversation that's coming up, then you may very well have to explain your actions, not necessarily even having to defend, but having a chance to explain. What was your thought process? What was your motivation? What, right? Like, what was your intention? What was theirs? Right? Like having an honest and open conversation. I usually also see these Six Wands, they're holding one. There's Six Wands here. I usually see these as other people's projections. But this to me feels like having something available at your disposal. It's right, like they're holding this wand in their hand, and then it's like they have 6 more wands that they have access to should they need them. So again, it could be just having an abundance of information. It could be having an abundance of energy, of motivation to, take that action forward. It's like fire, right? I mean, both of these cards are fire. So, it could be helping that Mars went into Leo literally today as I'm doing this reading on the 18th. That could be helping in some capacity. Leo would be your 4th house, 3rd house. Let me see. Okay. If you are a Taurus rising, of course, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, 4th house. Your stability, your home life, your private life too. The things that you keep hidden. I don't know. For whatever reason though, this 7 of Wands feels like being ready. Even, like taking charge. Or, like one of those things of like, I can handle whatever comes my way. And it would be also too because there's this release or this healing that's happening between the 3 of Swords and the 6 of Cups. It frees up the energy to like move forward. Even like confidence, certainty, being sure. And again, like with the 7 of Wands, it's like just being ready to take on whatever it is that comes your way. And then with the Hierophant, like I said, that is a card of Taurus. And it almost feels like that's all that it showed up for. Like, it's almost like, coming back to yourself, being grounded in yourself, truly almost like settling back into your body, right? Because Taurus is earth. It has to do with our actual physical body. It could be, like the things that you have learned. It could be even sharing what you have gone through, where you're at, what you're doing. The Hierophant is passing along knowledge. So it does talk about traditional institutions like school, work, but like in school, right? You have a professor, you have somebody who has the expertise, who has the experience, who has the training, who already has the degree, and they are teaching you. They are passing along their knowledge, their understanding, the curriculum, right? Same with a job. If you get a job, there's usually, I don't know, like jobs nowadays, but there is usually some level of training there. And again, right? I mean, you could be on either side of that. You could be a mentor. You could be the person who is, passing along your knowledge. You could be the person receiving. Even spirituality, too. Even, coming out of this, having a clearer or more, what is the word? I'm like, the words that are going through my head is like purposeful, grounded, clear, whatever, like understanding of your connection to whatever it is, God, source, divine. For me, it's my higher self, which is literally just me. So it's like, again, but it's being empowered by that. It is being more confident in that too. Just really quick, let's see. 2 of Swords, the Hermit, the Empress, 5 of Cups, 7 of Swords, and then the Fool card behind that. The 2 of Swords being between the 3 of Swords and the 6 of Cups. It almost kind of seems like this, it's like something has been hidden from you for a while, or you just have not wanted to look at it. They're blindfolded, just the body language here. The 2 of Swords does talk about indecision. But indecision is a choice. Not making a decision is a decision, right? So usually and we have this, 2 and 3 of Swords thing happening here. But if this has been an energy that has been around for a while, right, it is because like maybe you didn't want to look at it. Maybe you didn't want to dredge those things up. Or 2, like maybe you didn't even want to make a decision about it. Maybe you just didn't even see it. Because that, I feel like that is very much part of the healing journey too. Literally things like come up over and over and over and over and over again. But every time it's like having this new understanding of it and just being like, I didn't even think that it like affected me that way, or that's not the way that I saw it, type of thing. The Hermit card being between the 6 of Cups and the 8 of Wands. Again, I mean, even like the Hermit talks about healing. It talks about introspection, reflection. It's literally going within yourself, but also too, realizing that the journey, like your journey really is unique to you. There is no comparison to other people. So wherever you are right now is exactly where you should be, regardless of where anybody else is, right? Truly, like you are the only one who can walk your own path. And they're also being guided here by the Star. The Star card is about faith, hope, trusting the process, believing in yourself, believing in your path, believing in the thing that you are manifesting. So again, this really does feel like receiving some sort of message. And I think this also just reaffirms that it's going to come from you. There's not another person here. I mentioned that at one point, but I think it literally is you. There's some breakthrough happening here with you, and it can happen really fast, or whatever the breakthrough is, all of a sudden it's like now you want to propel yourself forward. Now you're ready to move forward. We have the Empress between the 8 of Wands and the 7 of Wands. Again, this is the other Taurus card. This is Venus. So it's Taurus and Libra. Where is Venus right now? Is it still in Pisces? It might be going into Aries here soon. I know it just came out of retrograde. It might still be in Pisces. But again, the message about coming back into yourself. The Empress is the divine feminine, the energy, not the gender. So it's about nurturing, intuition, receiving, right? This isn't like pushing forward. This isn't, the Emperor would be, the pushing forward and initiation and, all of that. The Empress is like, I've done the work. The energy is going to come to me, which is also even too with this 8 of Wands, like the energy will come to you. And you will have the skill, the tools, the energy, the passion, whatever you need, you will have it at your disposal. This is even something that you are, that you've created, because generally the Empress is depicted as being pregnant. Of course, if you are looking to expand your family, it would be a good omen for that. But in tarot, pregnancy represents literally giving life to something, creating something out of your own image. If you can dream it, it will come true. And truly, we are only limited by our own capacity for imagination. So, whatever possibilities are in your head right now, allow those to expand. Keep your mind open. The 5 of Cups here between the 7 of Wands and the Hierophant. It's like there's a lot of healing in here. This is like a real opportunity to let go of something, maybe even like needing to go through the grieving process of something. But we have these 3 cups here that have been spilt out. There's these 2 cups that are still there. This person is focused on, though, the 3 of Cups. And it is a card of loss. This is the emotional loss. This is the mental with the 3 of Swords, right? So we have both of those things here, which is interesting too. But it is letting go of something in the emotional realm that has been holding you back. And then also realizing too that these 2 cups have always been there. All is not lost, right? Like, sure, maybe things haven't worked out. Maybe you have been in a place for the last either couple months, couple years, couple weeks, couple months, whatever, right? For me, it has been years. But I feel like I'm definitely resonating with the messages coming through. I mean, I always do in all of these readings. I think that in every single reading, I mean, you could watch any reading that I post and no doubt there's a message there for you. But anyway, for me, it has been years. I think it's actually been 8 years, which is actually, I think, like right around the time that Uranus went into Taurus, which is my 11th house. And it's been crazy. It hasn't all been bad. Not, but I have had I started my healing journey, like being intentional about my healing journey in 2012. And it wasn't until 2018 that, I mean, truly things started to, I don't know, like get deep, and really in the last couple months, the last month actually is when I've had these aha moments, and it literally feels like balloons being popped. So it is like, again, letting something go, not, because that is a message with the Five of Cups. The focus is on these three cups. There's nothing that's being, given to these two cups back here. So it's like this shift of focus. It is letting go, because these three cups, like, they weren't for you anyway. You tried it, as you should, right? Didn't work. Okay, next. So maybe even that process is getting easier. Again, even like I was saying with the Hierophant, coming back to yourself, letting go of something that has just been kind of like anchoring you down. The Seven of Swords, and then the Fool after that, Queen of Wands. This almost kind of feels like, so the Seven of Swords in general talks about self-sabotage, trickery, manipulation. And this, to me, it's interesting because these five swords, right? It's like a shadow. They're not even materialized, right? They're just black shadows, right? And then these two swords are in the ground, and we have the Two of Swords here, which is interesting. The Five of Swords talks about a battle of wits, winning at all cost, competition. So it's almost like, again, this energy is being taken out. This could be, a spirit guide. It could be, again, it could be God. It could be whatever it is, but it's like the energy of those five swords, because it is no longer serving you. Even just the self-sabotage thing, right? Like, you've realized what the energy is around that. Like, you've found the root of that, and it's being cleared out. And we have the Fool card here, which is a leap of faith, a brand new start, completely new, not taking a lot of baggage with you, being excited. This is also Uranus, which is interesting. I think Uranus actually goes into Gemini sometime this year, so that's good. Although I think like next year I have my Uranus opposition, so I don't know. Uranus has just been fucking me up in a good way, like good and bad. Like, I think that's kind of what Uranus is anyway. Like, there's sudden shifts, there's sudden realizations, there's just kind of, and sometimes it feels good, sometimes it doesn't. The Queen of Wands, talk about like confidence. I was mentioning at some point, this is the Queen of Confidence, the Strength card. Yeah, this is great. Okay, I'm going to leave it there because how long has this been? Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.